allows you to see what incremental decrease provides in terms of lead volume. Because if you go from one to another amount, you're not sure exactly where it's going to end up. But if you slowly lower that budget or raise that budget, you'll be able to kind of follow along and let it breathe.
Well said. Well said. And we'll hammer a little bit more on that in this mastermind today. Lauren, I want you to unmute yourself because you just said, I'm so excited. I have a walkthrough tomorrow, show a property to a buyer Monday. Also have a 5-minute call today with a seller. So talk me through, because you've only been with us now for what, like 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And it's great because there's going to be some people here. We had, some discussion in the mastermind or in the insider group today. It's like, I've been here for a month and I don't have a deal. Is this like, I'm like, don't stress out. Don't worry. It's going to happen. Okay. We have to walk through this and learn how to get into a relationship with people. So walk us through how you got into a relationship with people. What did you do?
Well, I just kind of tweak it what I had, like, you provide us like with that email that, okay, set us an appointment with Thursday this time and Wednesday this time, Thursday this time. And then I added some tweak to it about Calendly, like on my first response, like, I'm on it. And then I was like, if you want a 5-minute phone call, set up a time. So I added that there because at first I wasn't getting any result. And that one, I was like, oh my God, it worked. So that's for 1 o'clock today. Then the other one was like, of course, with the bomb and all that stuff. That's for tomorrow at 10 in the morning for a walkthrough. And it was, because obviously they send you a tracking that they read it. And I was just like calling them, and I wasn't even texting them, just calling them and leaving them a message like, hey, this is so-and-so, I send you an email. So I think that was part of the success, I think. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, that's very exciting. Do us a favor when you get a chance, post the automation emails that you have right now. That's set up, and maybe your correspondence, like your follow-up to get that appointment, if you have any tracking on that with your email history, post that in the insider group, take snapshots of it so just people can have realistic, like visual observations of what your process looks like. Because I think it helps us all when we see what the auto email is saying, what the Calendly link is pointing to, maybe what questions you're asking, so we can all do similar things and kind of rally around and see what's winning and what's not working, right?
Sure, absolutely. I'm not very tech savvy, so bear with me.
I think it's Command-Shift-4 on a Mac computer. Do a screen.
Okay.
Command-Shift-4. Okay, that's awesome. Who else wants to share? Philip, how's those bomb videos going? Why don't you share with a little bit of your experience so far? Because I know out there in that part of Canada, you're probably getting some good lead volume out there. I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Yeah, things are going really well for Mary and I with StreetText. Mary, she's not here, but she started trying to do something different. And I said, I'm going to do the StreetText thing. And you know what? We're overwhelmed. I could turn my computer if you don't mind. I'm going to show you our board, and not to brag or anything like that.
No, please brag. Please brag.
I don't know if you can see that board over there. I probably just turned you off, did I?
Nope.
My computer, believe it or not, is a touch screen, so it went wonky on me here. I don't know where you...
I can see you. You're still there.
I can't see you for some reason. Maybe I shrunk you. But anyways, yeah, we have in the last 2 weeks, I'm going to talk even though I can't see you.
You're perfect. We can all see you.
We've had 4 walkthroughs, and I have 1 scheduled for every day this week, which is quite impressive. And it's all thanks to StreetText. Basically just following up, sending out a lot of bombs, and being clear in what our intentions are. The last thing I took from our mastermind was that it's building relationships. And so a lot of people are just curious. A lot of people are looking to list in 6 months. And we had a tremendous amount of appointments, and we're just making relationships. And that's what I'm making very clear. We want to come in, see your property, give you the best list price we possibly can. And you know what, hopefully long-term, you'll like our approach. And you know what, when it comes time to list, you will, consider us. And we've had one girl, we're out showing a home, and she is listing her home. We've given 3 people home evaluations, and they've been very happy with them. And they said, when it's time, they are going to call us. So things are going really well for us.
That's amazing. Now, can I ask you, so you have the autoresponder bomb video of you and your wife together, right?
No, she's yet to get in a video. Mary's pretty, she's great when we do our listing. She does a walkthrough video of the home, but she's yet to. So I've just been recording a few bombs on my own with this behind us, and it really seems to work. You know, people, you're right about putting a face to a name. It seems to work.
And so so do you have your own built-in autoresponder for those leads initially as they come in?
No, yes, I do. Like as far as, you know, sort of, yes, you know, what are we saying here? We have tweaked our emails, yes. But I've yet to get Calendly onto my bomb. Just like I think it was Lorraine said, I'm not very tech savvy at all. So I've not figured out how to put the link onto my bombs yet. That's my next project.
Well, and so I guess the question would be, so with all these walkthroughs that you've scheduled, at what point did they reply and say, yeah, you can come on over? Was it on your personal follow-up to them? Was it on the automated video follow-up? At what point were you able to get those guys in a conversation?
A lot of them are putting their phone number like on their, you know, on their submission. So, you know what, I'm calling a lot of them and they're very open to speak. And, you know, I guess that's kind of the fortunate thing. It's so kind of fresh here in Nova Scotia, Canada. There's not a lot of, you know, people using your technology. So it's really working for us. But I do have a response rate there. I'm getting a lot of people opening the bombs. So I think, again, so then when you follow it up with a phone call, you know, they're familiar.
Well said. Well said. I mean, it's a big takeaway, guys. Like, you definitely want to make sure that you get your face in front of them. And if you're coming with an authentic message and it's genuine, you're really trying to help them, then when you do follow up with them, they're more likely to be receptive to it. That's a great
Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but I took your advice and I went out and bought a board. I haven't used it to its extent yet, but Mary said, what, are you crazy? I said, no, you know what? These guys are the experts, and that means you, Marcus. So, you know what, if we're using the board, then you know what, I'm going to write some nice little notes on here and post them.
I think you can't go wrong there. I think if you put their name and potentially their address in the subject line, and then, you know, Logan, you say it best, everybody loves to hear their own name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's very true. It's the same thing. I mean, everybody's favorite word in the English language, it's your own name because it's the thing you're most tuned to hear, right? So as soon as you see it on the whiteboard or something, this is for me. I better check this out. And it's the same thing as when I always tell people, when you're using the Julia automation, it's very similar in that you want to make sure when you say, you know, Logan's going to be calling you within the hour, within the next 20 minutes, whatever it is, here's the number he's going to be calling you from. I find that people they're expecting something. They're expecting something for them, and they're looking at their phone. They're waiting for it. If 15 minutes goes by and I haven't called yet, I can almost guarantee you they're looking at their phone. It's little things like that. So, you know, the whiteboard, when I first saw that concept, I was a little bit torn on it myself. I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't see myself even doing that. All of a sudden, you start realizing how it works, and once again, it's that little psychological approach of, this is specific for me, I better click on it. Because there's so many different, you know, there's phishing scams, there's all these things. If you send somebody a weird link, they're not clicking on it. But if you send them something that they can see is actually meant for them personally, they're much more likely to take action.
Awesome. Who else wants to share? Jennifer, I know you're on here as well. I love the interaction you put there in the insider group. How's that success going with you, those bomb videos?
Well, I don't know yet. So I haven't had a listing appointment, but I'll tell you what, I've had plenty of leads and I've had interaction. So that's the way it is. I'm just nurturing them. I've had a few comments on the videos, and people have been responding well to it. I have an appointment scheduled for next week on a very high price listing. So I think that's great. And I think part of that is because of the videos. So I dig it. I'm just ready now to get those listings going, you know.
100%. I mean, it's all timing. And you know, I always go back to this slide so everybody gets a realistic understanding. You know, we share this slide all the time. If you guys can see this, it's this top of funnel slide. So let me just open this up for you. So this is the idea of Facebook and Instagram, right? The concept here is, it's not like Realtor or Zillow where everybody's been scrubbed down and ready to go. This is like you're getting to them first. before anybody else out there, which is all about the relationship. Whether or not, like, some of these people could be a year out, 6 months, 3 months, and so far, and they could actually be ready to go in that now. But a lot of those sellers, even that you guys really are looking to sell, you have another opportunity to take them into helping them purchase a home as well, right? That's a key concept there. And specifically on the buyer, the reason why we call it the buyer to seller funnel is because all those buyers, they're looking before they're even selling. So it's so key concept knowing that when you are running top of funnel style marketing, like you talked about, Phil, it's all about the relationship. Because if you can get to them today and begin a conversation with them, I promise you all of a sudden it exponentially grows and grows and grows. And, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And I'll share, some of Donna Swansea's strategies because she's done over 150 deals to this point. This is now 2.5, close to 3 years later. Right? Because of what she was doing right here in the beginning, it just grows and exponentially grows. And all of a sudden those sellers are buyers and, come in full circle 2.5 years later, they're sellers again. Not to mention all the referral business you get out of this type of marketing, right? So important to kind of figure this out is this is not your next deal is coming from. It is, but this is kind of where you're building your business in the next few years. And if you start with the relationships today, then all of a sudden you'll see it turn into massive amount of deals. But if you're coming in here for the next month thinking, oh man, I need Facebook to give me my next deal. Unfortunately, it's going to be a hard play. That's why we kind of strayed away from getting people set up with StreetText at 1 month at a time, because it just kills their mindset. And so part of what I wanted to share with you too, and we can open this back up to some more conversations around it, is if you kind of want to get a good idea of how people, that's why I always go back to the insider group, because I have a lot of these links that will show you, real people that you could go and talk to. Some of these are from a long time ago. So go through there and ask these people since these posts, how they've been doing. Similarly, I like to go use this one too, because you can go, this was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. You can go back up there and read these and see how long they've been with us and how many deals they've got out of it, and just ask them, go in here and comment on this and ask them, hey, 5 weeks ago, Jessica was talking about she's generated 2 live listings, 2 other signed contracts, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to go in here and just read this stuff so you have some realistic understanding of these clients in their market and what they're doing with StreetText leads. And it'll kind of set you up with some positive expectations of when you're going to close them yourself. Mm-hmm. Cool, guys? Any questions? That's the StreetText Insider group. So the more you participate in there in discussions, and I've tried to give you guys all the bookmark, the announcement section, because I try to pull in everything in there that I think that if you read, it'll kind of set you up for success. But anytime I find something like, I don't know if you saw the door knocking by, that was awesome, in the Insider group the other day. Let me show you this. This is going to inspire you, okay? This inspired me because a lot of people won't do this particular thing here. This is Josette. Check this out. On a Saturday.
Hey guys, this is Josette and Alex. It's Saturday, it's hot, but we're up there, we're hustling, we're hand delivering customized CMAs to our home sellers who have requested home value report, and that's how we do it. And personal service, hand delivered CMA. So if you know anybody that's looking for one, give us a shout out.
All right. How awesome is that?
This is Josette and Alex. It's Saturday.
I'm gonna have to pause that again. Here, hold on. Okay. Let me get back to the Zoom screen. So, Josette's going out there in the sweaty, muggy Florida and hand delivering CMAs. So, at the end of the day, relationship. And, it's not like someone's going to say no to that at the door. Like, no, that wasn't me. It's like, it's okay. She's so calm. That's okay. This is for you. So when the time comes, you're actually interested. You have someone you can rely on, right? Who else wants to share? Leon, I'm going to pick on you a little bit, buddy. Mr. Machine Systems over there. How's it going for you?
Let me find the unmute button. Good. Like I said, I've just been buried. I've turned around, I brought my call center online. It's been online a month. So I've been dumping everything over. And it's like I got the blessing and the curse was I didn't realize when I tied my CRM into the system for leads, I'd had some old StreetText leads from the first time. everything's been automatically going over the Mojo dialer. So I had some like double contacts in there that I was trying to get took out of there and trying to catch up finally. But I've got a 5 o'clock appointment today for a listing, which came out of the system. She sent me a text last Saturday morning at like 8:15 going, hey, I always send a thing out asking, have any recent updates, upgrades, or remodels that you feel would increase the value of your home? And she said, well, I haven't had and I asked about the appraisal was the one that I've updated to Julie. She's my girl. So Julie had asked a question. So for the appraisal thing, she said, oh, I haven't had appraisal in a while, but I'm going to get one. And I said, well, you don't need it. And I called her. She's moving to Maryland in 3 weeks. So I'm meeting her today. We're going to get the house on the market next week. I've got a listing appointment Friday, and I've got one Saturday for a walkthrough. And I haven't even turned quite everything on I've got sitting here yet, because my main focus has been, like I said, I had like 2,500 leads I put in the system, and I've got my call center catching up with those because it's just, they're at the point where I honestly was starting to neglect them. And, you know, I need to work with what I had in hand now. So I'm getting there.
So did you go in there and customize Julie a little bit to change her dialogue with your leads initially?
What I did was I turned around and I already had some of my stuff in place. So even my other stuff from my other systems, I went ahead and basically went and changed it over to Julie. Because one of the other things because I give referral leads I generate off my stuff, I don't want somebody to just feel like they're handed over to anybody. So when I did that, what happened is all of a sudden I've been getting the responses. Nobody's mean to a girl. I'll just say it. Men, we're in trouble. Nobody's mean to a girl. You don't get F off Julie or nothing. So the response to Julie has been so much more, I don't want to sound funny, so much more positive. And it's less, I don't know, maybe less pressure on people to sit there when it's someone doing it. But since I've gone over to Julie, like I said, it's definitely noticeable difference in the responses and the type of responses. So like I said, I've just, 2 listing appointments this week, possible third on a walkthrough. And then I've got to confirm 2 more of people I've been interacting with.
So those are usually full submissions that you're getting into listing appointments. Have you found your email only leads?
When you say speed to lead, I laugh because I do get some late night ones, and if I'm up sitting here goofing off, I'll do it. But as far as the email back and forth, that's always the one where people feel less pressure anyway, because they don't have to get in front of you. So the thing that I sent you the other week where I show them what, Zillow says your home is with this, Redfin, then I put Trulia on there, and then I've got that note that Trulia is also owned by Zillow, and isn't it funny how their prices never match? And this internet's best guess of your home. So now then I say, here's my valuation, what I think your home is worth. And then as I email back and forth, that might include a little more material, but it leads to the phone call.
Now, are you doing that just with script, or are you doing that with like a video as well?
And I have some videos, but I need to redo them because I didn't like them. And so I should have my videos in there. But like I said, the honest priority was I needed to get my call center straightened because I was training them guys to what I wanted. And honestly, the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to finally get more time to myself because it's such a workload off of me when someone else is doing all the calls and what have you. And then they just hand it over to me. So even the StreetText leads are in there, and I'll get the handover. I get a bio about what's going on. And at that point, now I directly interact with them. And I like the handover because they've had Julie coming at them first. Then they'll have the call center coming at them, and then they have at me. And what I've had the call center going is just the whole team concept. So Julie sits there. It's Julie / Premier Houses team. So the Premier Houses team is what's branding on them, and they just know they're talking to someone from the Premier Houses team. So it's a real nice handover, and they're much more open, ready to go when we talk to them.
Now, do you let the autoresponder on the email side, the one that's set up for the 9-month drip, day 1, day 3, so forth? Have you done anything in there in terms of editing that, adding in email signatures, links to your calendar, anything like that?
No, because I still had the other stuff that was off my other contact stuff and the call center doing it. So this next weekend coming up, hopefully I'll have time where I can sit down and just start modifying. I've got a list of stuff already made out in my notes of what I want to do. I've got a couple videos I want to put in there. So not just the autoresponder one going out, but the follow-up one that goes out, we'll have one as well. And then what I'm doing is when I send them their valuation from me, I'm also at that point, I'm just going to have a generic bomb one that goes out, because the nice thing is I send the valuation out of any of my systems the BombBomb's tied into. So I already get the opens and I know they're in there. And it's kind of funny when you sit there and watch them open it 3 or 4 times looking at it. So at that point, I send them something that just basically say, hey, it's Leon. Just want to let you know, Leon from the Premier Houses team. Want to let you know I sent you guys something over. Please take a moment, look at it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll reach out to you in a couple of days. So I'm already setting them up for the follow-up because you can't just wait for them to call you. And then then I'm tracking the opens from there because they're definitely opening it.
You're tracking the opens, so you use Line Desk, right?
I use Lion Dust for my drips that go out, but BombBomb is tied into my, so I've got, get this. I run, not Savato, I'll get this. Real Geeks is my primary thing where all the leads are housed. And then I use Lion Desk, which all my stuff feeds over into for the drip campaigns. But I've been leaving StreetText stuff to run what's in there. And then they respond to that. And when I start responding back, I've been moving them over into my Premier Houses site. And that just updates everything else. But the nice thing is, like I said, everything going out of the systems because of the BombBomb tracking, no matter what they're in, I'm getting the notification from them. And then I'm following up with them accordingly.
Where does the BombBomb tracking come in for you? Is that coming in through your Chrome extension on Gmail, or how does that work for you for the tracking?
I use Outlook as my primary one to send out, but now the cool part of this is I've got Gmail. So for Outlook, I've got Gmail in my emails for several. I like 7 in there, so I've got several Gmails. So when it goes out, no matter where they open it from, I'm getting the notifications. So everything I try to feed out, even the only one that doesn't do is if I send it out on my phone, unless I do a BombBomb video. So if I'm sitting there, whether I run it off my iPad or whatever, I'm making sure I get the email back out. I respond right away. Usually, even coming out of my phone. Once I send it to them out of my desktop or my Surface or whatever, and they open it, even if I respond to them out of my phone, I'm replying to the email I built somewhere else, it'll still let me track the opens because we're still on the same email string.
Smart. Yeah, there you go.
Jennifer had a couple questions she wanted to ask.
Ask, Jen.
Hey, so, okay, one of my questions was actually for Leon and everyone else. So I really like that idea, and I stole the idea from someone else in the group about the valuation. And then I say, Zillow thinks your house is worth this, Trulia thinks this. So it's like a template, and I'm only customizing those few things. But I have not been giving my own CMA. So basically, I lead that to, as you see, the internet has no clue what your house is worth. When's a good time we can chat, or I can come take a look so I can give you an exact price, and you're finding success doing the CMA up front.
No, here you go. I don't know if Marcus still has the one I sent him, but on that template, I also have my online valuation of your home is, and I'll put a price or even a range. And then when you do that, they're already knowing that is the online, and that's where you're saying that if they'd like a more accurate assessment, that you're open for that. And I'm put this way, I changed my walkthrough. You can't walk through a house in 10 minutes. I don't care. Right. So I've changed my valuation to a 15 to 20 minute walkthrough. That way I'm not coming through on rollerblades. That's not enough time to make them feel all whatever. But because if you walk to a house and you have a yard and they've got this, I mean, it's a nice casual go through. So give them the online valuation that you feel that it's worth, and let them know that for you to do the walkthrough, give them a more accurate assessment of the home. And then I tell them that when I do this, I also come through and give them hints and tips to show them little things they could do to improve the value of their home with a lot of out of pocket. So when you're already giving value, that you're saving them money for what you're doing, that makes you already a go-to person.
Yeah, I want to double down on that just real quick, because I think that is one of the things that is often missed, that it's the most important. It's the item of value to them, because do they want to know what their home is worth? Of course. But why do they want to know what their home is worth? And is it because they want to sell it tomorrow? Probably not. It's because they're getting ready to sell. And what is the most important information? What it's going to sell for, or how they can get the best bang for their buck? Right? By highlighting the fact that not only am I going to, let you know what I think your home is worth, specifically based on market conditions, based on your home itself, and being able to see it, but I'm going to be able to help you get your home market ready, whether it be spending money, on curb appeal, on your ensuite bathroom, on your kitchen. I know the places that's wise to spend money, because I show people just like you through homes just like yours every day, right? It's highlighting that to people, I think, is so important. So I think you nailed it there. And yeah, that the Zulia template or that idea is it's in my opinion, it's a game changer because it saves so much time and still gives them some of the information they've requested without you having to pull comps, spend 15, 20 minutes actually doing a CMA, right? Gets you more likely to see the home.
I'll send that to Marcus today, what I have, and he can just post it later because like I said, I had took one someone else had put up and I just modified it a little extra bit. And since I've modified it, like I say, it's noticeable response back.
Yeah, George, Leon, George, I want you to unmute yourself and talk in a second, but Leon, I was looking in our message history on Facebook Messenger and I couldn't find it. All I saw was an article that you gave us. I think it was this one right here that you shared with me about, this is a good one actually. So I'll post this one in the inside group, how to follow up with real estate leads. Remember this one?
No, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna disappear from the camera and I'll send it to you right now off the other computer because I'm sitting here with my Surface in front of me. And
okay, perfect. And then once you pull it up, and we can share it.
Yeah, here's the other thing that's funny. The one of the funniest things about what we forget. I'm an iPhone user. I just feel the iPhone just the best business thing out there because all the yuppies and all the free apps. But if you're not using your notes in your phone, I'm honestly going to say, whether it's a Droid, whatever, you're crazy because there's so many things you can turn around and do, copy and paste. So if you have your notes set up, I can even text or email right out of the notes. So what I do is I've got notes in my phone that when I'm sitting there doing something to get back to somebody, I can open the note, put the person's name in it, text it straight out of the notes, or I can email it out of the notes. It's getting stuff right back to them. So if you're not utilizing it, I always say I'm the king of free 99. You should seriously consider it because your phone goes everywhere you go. And I'm kind of laughing because I could probably pull the one up on my phone, Marcus, for this one, but I want to take it out of my email so that I give you an actual email of what I have.
Okay, cool. George, unmute yourself. Give us that story.
All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? I'm going to lower my speakers, so hopefully I don't get too much feedback. I have to say, big shout out to the whole StreetText team. You guys have done an amazing job. I have a background in marketing and IT, and I did 7 years IT, mobile applications, and I have to say, playing with the system, and Marcus, we got together Thursday, activated, my trial, which I'm going to re-up and everything else. Tomorrow will be the 7-day anniversary. I'm going to tell you, I'm overwhelmed. I mean, yes, we're running 2 campaigns, and my experience. I spend, as a single agent in Southwest Florida, about $1,000 to $2,000 a month with Facebook, depending if it's season, if I'm strategically marketing my listings for buyers for my listings, so forth. So far, here's a recap. In 6 days, I've spent $110.16. My cost per lead, I have 47 leads in 6 days. Now, keep in mind, Marcus, after this call, I think we have an appointment later on today. We're going to set up my BombBomb calendar. Nothing set up. Julie has set basically 5 appointments, and I'm following up with those 5 appointments. And the first listing appointment, and the guy's like, I'm ready to sell. Bring me the contract. We go live on Monday, and I need to buy a place next week. My parents are going to pay my next place cash. Yes, it's only a small $300,000 deal, but $300,000 in 6 days. I'm like, I actually told Tristan about this. He's like, share it to the world. I'm like, I need to keep it quiet just for 2-3 weeks so I can prove the concept over 30 days. But Marcus, I tell you, I mean, the whole back end, I'm looking at it, and I've played with it a little bit. Because I just got back from my vacation 2 days ago. And I have to say, man, you guys hit a home run with this system. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Awesome. I appreciate that, bro. I mean, I can't wait to see what you do with it too, because with your
I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it down for sure.
I'm excited to see what you're going to do with it. And you're going to share their success and practical takeaways for all of us to implement. So so you said you got Julie to book 5 appointments. Now that means what you're doing is once they respond, you're coming in there as Julie, correct?
Well, yes and no. Because I was so busy over the weekend, I mean, family vacations, I try my best to disconnect. So maybe it wasn't a good time to start. But with the 47 leads, I've at least replied once or twice through email and text. I physically talked to 8 people. 2 of them I have callback set for later on today and tomorrow. The other 3 told me to call them this weekend, which is fine. It's going to happen. A lot of people, if you don't get them in that first 5 to 15 minutes, law of diminishing intent already. They were intending to talk to you. You didn't get to them fast enough. Now you got to wait for their time. But it's one of those things that I definitely see the curve, and I see it sliding in where Julie, I mean, the guy basically called me and texted me yesterday. He goes, hey, I was supposed to have my appointment with you Monday at 5. And I texted him, and he never got my text. He was in the hospital. And I said, well, I told you I was available Wednesday and Thursday. Let's set up a time. Here's everything. Him and I, you know, and again, it's only a $300,000 buy and sell. It's a manufactured home that I'm selling, but then he's going to be buying a condo or whatever. But he already spotted the condo. He told me, I want to buy this home next week. I'm like, I love it. And his home actually sold in 3 days when he purchased it. So he's in a hot area, everything else, low price point, you know, but I'm super excited. I mean, the other 2 homes, one's $380,000, the other one's $550,000. Even if the $300,000 deal converts over 30 days, it's a grand slam. Now, if I get a second one to convert, you got a customer for life. This will pay for StreetText for the entire year.
It's amazing. I mean, so you obviously have all these different layers of leads. You have your address-only leads. You have your leads.
I've stopped all other Facebook leads at this point.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome.
Because I want to dive into this.
The last time I looked at it, I thought we had a pretty good performing ad and an average ad. So I'm actually excited to actually tweak some of those with you. I think the satellite image was the one that was winning for you.
The satellite has 17 leads, but that's been running on a shorter amount of time. And the other, I forgot what it's called when it just has the
just the map.
I don't know. Yeah, just the map. That one has the 30 leads on it. So the cost per lead on the satellite's only $1.31. Cost per click, and my cost per lead is $7.87. My cost per lead, or no, I'm sorry, I read the wrong column. $2.78. On the regular map, $2.36. So many numbers. I'm reading on my other monitor over here. So yeah, but I'm thoroughly impressed because my seller leads, when I run the Facebook, I run 3 different ad copies typically, and they've been hovering between $6 and $15. And it all depends on, am I doing it close to a holiday? Am I doing it out of season? I track and measure as much as I can. I stopped all Google pay-per-click about 13 months ago, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. Because pay-per-click, I didn't have time to involve, and I was paying a manager to do it. But the secondary thing is Facebook, I've had a lot of home runs where people will actually take action right away. Like me spending $18 a day right now is nothing because yes, I have so many leads, but I'm setting up all the file by Friday, Saturday, I'll have it all automated between Marcus and my team, my assistant. But it's one of those things that I'm going to get, it's a volume play. At $2, $3 a lead, $4 a lead, even if it goes up to $5 a lead, all you need is that one person out of 100 leads that costs you $500 to say I'm ready this week, like that guy did. I mean, I'm 300 grand tomorrow. It's a slam dunk.
Amazing. And this is just the first few weeks. I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
6 days.
It'll be the gift that keeps on giving because a lot of these leads won't necessarily even talk to you today. But if you've got a great drip in place and you're doing check-ins and you're eventually looking into the Facebook side of this as well and seeing how you can become an influencer of them and in their newsfeed, that's going to be a big component of that moving forward as well.
Well, and the idea is that it's scalable too. We don't expect people to come and just say, okay, well, I'm going to spend just like you were spending, $1,000 a month or whatever it is, come in and spend $100 a day on Facebook ads. That's a daunting ask. So that's not what we expect people to do. However, it's scalable. And if you come in and you run one ad for a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and you make a deal or two from it, then you take some of that money, some of those earnings and put it into more ads and more automations and more and more and more. And you take Donna's story. She did the same thing. I think she was running one ad at $7 a day for quite some time. She saw some success. She started running 2 ads at $7 a day. Next time, she's running 3 ads at $9 a day. She's running, I don't know how much she's spending right now, but it's a decent amount. She's running 6 or 7 ads because she can. She didn't start there though, right? That's the idea. She built her automation. She found her sequence, what worked best for her. And she just started spending more and more money over the years to the point where she's at where she's at now.
Yeah.
Excited, George, I'm excited for you, especially when you start using video as your main source of communication.
I'm going to tell everybody, this has been my highest conversion rate. These little thank you cards, I got 100 of them with the matching envelopes from Amazon, $22. And as soon as I'm done talking to somebody, I write them just a 2-sentence message, and I've already closed $1.8 million in the last 2 months since I started doing that. And it's just a simple thank you card with 3 business cards in it. And those people raise their hand and say, I love the card. I love the personal touch. Why don't we come and list? And then it's within a week or 2 of that happening. And I tell you, it's the little things. I mean, $22 for 100 opportunities, can't beat it.
Love it. Can you post that in the insider group?
Yep.
Awesome.
Do you handwrite on them at all?
I do. My handwriting's horrible, so I pay my high school or college assistant, and she actually does a phenomenal job. She's been banging out about 10 or 15 at a time for me, and it only takes her an hour, hour and a half. And what I do is I type exactly what each one's going to be. So address. So I type it out to her, I email it to her, and she does it and sends them out for me. And the response rate for every 100, I'm going to say 80 that I've sent out, I've already had 3 listings, and 2 of them I've double-ended this year.
That's incredible. So are you putting a postage stamp on and postage stamp in an envelope, like on the outside of that, and sending it in the mail?
I do 2 postage stamps to cover the weight of the business cards, just in case. So I don't want them to come back and return. So it's $1 per piece, or $1.25 per piece when you calculate it.
I love it.
I got the really thick cardboard business cards. They have a really good presentation to them. They're like only 18 cents each, and people even commented on them. They're like, your business card has such a presence to it, I can't throw them away. I'm like, oh, I love it. So it's worth the 18 cents instead of spending 2 to 5 cents on crappy, throwaway cards, I call them.
That is incredible.
Patricia, you had a question?
I do.
Ask away and tell us. I think you had a story to tell too, Patricia.
I do. So I started with the trials, and I ran an ad for 3 days. I got 42 leads from it. I've been running it for 6 days now, and I have about 110 leads in 6 days, which is awesome. I haven't gotten a deal from it yet, but I'm still working on it. Now, my question was, I have an address-only submission, and I was able to exchange emails with her, and she said, I'm not thinking about selling now, but she has opened my home eval email 14 times. So I think there's something there that really caught her attention, and she might be considering more than she's willing to say. Any advice, anything that, I could try and do? I've already sent her a bomb video. I already sent her a couple of different emails. Like I said she's not interested, but she definitely is. And it's an $800,000 home.
I would recommend figuring out a little bit more of what's holding her back. Oftentimes I find that people who are a little bit hesitant to kind of jump in with both feet in terms of getting that in-person conversation taking place on the sell side is because they're not sure where she's going, right? What she's looking for, where she might be moving, what kind of property she's looking for. So I might ask that question of, hey, before we get your home ready to go on the market, where are you moving to? What are you looking for? Is there anything I can help you find? Those kind of questions may kind of get that conversation to that place where why she's selling, right? Or why she's dragging her feet.
Okay. Do you think that sending maybe one of those thank you cards with the business card inside could give her, a no pressure situation? Here's my business card. Whenever you're ready, give me a call. It's free. It's quick. It's not going to take an hour of your day. Let's just talk.
Absolutely. I personally, I feel that handwritten thank you notes, that note that George shared there, things like that are slowly disappearing. I feel that they're starting to come back a little bit because people are realizing how impactful it truly is. If you get sent a mass mailer with no personal touch to it, I guarantee you that's hitting the trash pretty darn quick, because that wasn't for me, that was for everybody in my neighborhood got one. But if I get something that somebody has taken the time and even if it's 5 words on it that I can tell were actually pen strokes, that were somebody actually took the time, even had their assistant, I don't care, but they took the time for me, I went from here to there. I'm immediately more interested in you because you took interest in me. right? Handwritten thank you notes are hugely impactful. So yeah, I would certainly recommend trying something like that.
Okay.
So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of, I'm in Donna Swansea's account. Hopefully Donna will be okay with that. And I wanted to share with you kind of her strategy here. So she goes in and kind of changes up her autoresponders. So, you know, if you looked at her, you know, initial one, if I looked and clicked edit on the one that goes out to the new lead, I'm going to see this video in here. Okay. And she's never changed it. I want you to play that for you, so you guys know what she's, you know, the first autoresponder that these leads are getting from Donna.
Hey there, it's Donna Swansea with Century 21 Judge 5, and I just wanted to let you know that I got your request for your home value, and I'm working on that now. If there's anything that you think I need to know specifically about your home that may increase the value, please just respond to this email and let me know. And I look forward to talking to you soon.
Right, and she's, for a couple years she's been doing this. Now look at the bottom portion of that is, congrats, I received your request for the property valuation of, right? That's pulling in their name, pulling in their address. I'll review the information provided and begin work on your property valuation shortly. She's not asking any of those questions. In the meantime, if you have any questions, concerns, or provide additional information about your home, please feel free to contact me anytime by text, phone, or email. There's her email signature, right? So it puts her little picture in there, Century 21 Judge Fight, got the little, you know, the official real estate company of the Dallas Cowboys, right? It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Now, when you go into the emails again, and you look at what's going to be sent, because she does have a personal follow-up, and I can share with you. I think I pulled it over here. Let's see if I found it. Here we go. Okay, so here's her follow-up after she gives them the home value.
So you can see it's just a quick.
Oh, I have to rewind it just a little bit. Let's see. Okay.
For home value email. So let's take a quick look at the video. Hi there, this is Donna Swansea with Century 21 Judge 5. Check it in to make sure that you received your home value, and to let you know if you have any questions, I'm always here to help. Have a great day. Bye.
Right? Super simple, like sweet. Like, and then I think her day 3 email is set up to say, because she just changes it up a little bit. So this one is don't leverage 3 days after submission. And it goes into this: many homeowners sell their home for too little because they put themselves in a poor position. It happens because most people don't want to sell their home until they find the house they want to buy, and so forth. Like, she's got a really good one on day 3. It goes out that presents a lot of value, and kind of similar to the idea, Logan, where we're talking about a lot of these guys, they're hesitant because they don't know where they want to go. So it's that conversation you need to figure out on how to have with them. But Donna is amazing in the sense that she gets in front of them. She has an incredible, like, this course that we have with her. We'll go through that, like what she actually puts in the home value email. And some of you are enrolled in that course. I think a lot of you actually are enrolled in that course. I'm gonna stop my share for it. Who has gone through Donna's course? Anybody here? Yeah, so you guys seen that, what she puts in the home value. So it's a consistency. And then I know what she does every 3 months is she downloads her entire email list and checks in. And that's also in the StreetText Insider group, and just asks them if they'd like an updated home value. So it's just like staying top of mind idea that's going to be key and imperative in those longer term leads. So I truly believe, if you don't have to do the home value thing like she does, but there's a reason why she's done so many deals over the last few years, because they all got great value. So whatever you do offer them as a service, make sure that's a lasting impression. Any questions on that, guys? What's that, Patricia? What are you showing me?
I just got a listing.
What?
Just emailed.
Wait, so tell us about that real quickly.
It's just CMA that I sent for a 3-decker, 2 cities away. She's saying that if the husband can get $400,000 for the home, they're willing to sell.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what type of CMA did you get them?
I work with NAR, RPR a lot, and I do their CMAs. I used to use Cloud CMA, but I just didn't. I had to keep going back and forth. So I gave her an estimate of about $20,000 range, and hey, I think she liked it.
Love it.
So I'm gonna schedule the listing and see if we can get 400 for the property.
Done. Keep us updated with that. We'd love to hear it. What happens next week?
Yeah, this is awesome. Perfect.
Awesome, guys. This is so encouraging. See, this is why we have these masterminds, so we can all rally around one another and encourage one another and pull some wins and strategies. Anybody else want to share? Who is it that said somewhere earlier, I got to find this, about their success? I know someone in here just said something. They said it in the chat feature, but they didn't voice it. One of you here. Anybody else want to share while we're on here? We're coming into the last 10 minutes, so this would be the time. Unmute yourself, or if you just have questions, maybe you need some help. That's all good. We're all here. Use this all.
Go check your messenger, Marcus. I put that in there. One thing I didn't say about the valuation I put out, I always say never create your own competition, but the funniest thing is use your own competition to help you. The other thing in my valuation that I send out is I send out a link letting them know what the Zillow estimate is, and the link is directly to Zillow so that people can read it just straight out of their page. And the funniest thing about it is it tells them in there, right along the first line, tells them to go ahead and get a market analysis from a realtor. So when I send that over, I'm showing that Zillow really doesn't know, and it's further backing up the valuation I sent out, and it's in their own words. So it just gives you more strength as a reason they need you to give them a valuation and do a walkthrough.
I don't have it yet, Leon. Did you send it to me Facebook Messenger?
Yeah, from your thing this morning when you saw you come to the meeting, I sat there and went and opened up and just put it in your messenger.
Did you
right in there?
Did you press send? Because all I have is yup as your last message with me.
Then you must have a different one. I'll look again, but yeah, it said it went.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I'll post it as soon as I get it. I'll post it in the insider group for you guys. Check again. Who else wants to share? Anybody else want to share or have questions specifically on this content we're talking about today? All right. Well, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited for you all. We'll definitely have all this pre-recorded back into the StreetText Insider or group, as well as the StreetText Academy. Like Logan and I always say, whenever we're going to be updating that academy, we're going to put a little star next to it. So you'll see that come in. Yeah, thanks for showing up. George, thanks for sharing today, man. I'm excited for what we're going to do together. I'm excited for our call coming up. Thanks for coming on. For you new guys, come back next week. Corey, looking forward to hearing some of your success stories as well. Phil, thanks for sharing. Leon, as always. Adam, I'm encouraged by you. You're going to be doing it. Peter, you're Mr. Consistent, so it's about a matter of time. So I'm excited for us to get this dialed in for you. And Patricia, I love to hear that story. Anybody else who's on here, feel free. I know we got some of you are not in face-to-face, but you can still unmute yourself if you'd like. Oh, Julia. Julia, can you hear me? Julia there. Julia had a success story. I don't know if she can hear us. That's who. You know, Logan, she can't hear us. Didn't she say something about that earlier on the chat feature? I just unmuted her, hoping that she'd talk, but maybe she's with her kids.
That could be. While we're waiting, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to chime in. Julia, cut me off if you can hear this and you want to start talking. But anybody else, if you have anything that you want, once again, we went over this last week again. We're going to be updating that StreetText Academy. Marcus has already started updating his modules. I'm lagging a little bit behind. I need to get on mine. But anything that you guys want to learn, please let us know. The last thing we want to do is spend all this time creating content that you guys aren't as interested in. We want to make sure we're spending time to show you guys and highlight and teach you exactly what it is you're looking for. So please, anything that you could possibly want to learn in relation to what we have to offer here at StreetText or some of the integrations or whatever it could possibly be, please let either Marcus, myself, or Troy know what you're looking for, and we'll go ahead and build them in the coming weeks.
Awesome, guys. George, I'll be looking for that example of that postcard. Anything you got on there, we'll put that in the group, and I'll update that in the course as well. And as always, man, if there's anything that you find, you know, including scripts, because I know we're always asking for seller scripts, we're always asking for, you know, the buyer ones. We have some pretty good built in, but I think there's always room for it to get better. So feel free to share that with us, because I'd rather have a autoresponder that's built in StreetText that would work for everybody, and then we can continue working on updating that for everybody based on what you guys are seeing is working. So we can all win, and we can all share these strategies that's working together. So feel free after you get off of this to message me with anything you want more clarity from what you learned in this mastermind, and you guys go make an amazing day.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, guys. We'll talk to you soon.